I want to talk about boots on the ground because you guys do really well on the ground community connection and marketing. And what are some of the community networks you belong to, and what are some of the creative ways your firm are connecting with the community?
Well, I really feel that as a law firm and as lawyers, we really have a responsibility, in my opinion, to give back. We've been blessed with an opportunity to have specialized knowledge and training and experience, and I think it's important to give back. And so one of the things that we do is we're heavily involved in our local bar association. We're part of a lawyer referral program where you can pay $30 and you get to talk with a lawyer, and you get to talk with them, and you get allotted a half an hour, but we will talk with them as long as we need to talk with them. And it has been a great kind of opportunity to get cases to come into our office where we're able to help and make a difference, even if it's not necessarily a practice area that we work in. And I will tell you, I have had some of the best cases and stories from those cases. Not the six-figure or seven-figure recovery. It's a case in particular. If you don't mind, I'd like to share it with you. Just gives you an example. A really nice lady came into our office. She'd been involved in a rear-end car accident. The insurance company would not admit liability. They said, "Hey, you're at fault," which was crazy. And the body shop that had the car would not release it to her because the insurance company wouldn't approve the repairs, and she didn't have insurance. She came to us. She didn't speak English. I met with her, and I knew that if I turned her down, because there's no money involved in this case, that she would not be able to find anyone to help her and take on her case. So we took on her case without doing anything. She started crying. And within, I'd say 24 hours, I called the insurance company. So what are you guys doing? Are you just trying to take advantage of her because she's not educated and doesn't speak the language? This is clear what happened. So you guys need to compensate her. And within 24 hours of having that conversation, I get a phone call saying, "Hey, we're going to pay for the property damage." I then called the body shop. I asked the body shop, "Can you waive the storage fee and just get this car repaired for her?" The body shop said yes. I asked for some money for pain and suffering because she had gone to the ER and had some residual issues. So I'd say probably within a week, she comes back in and I say, "Hey, I've got some good news for you. Your car is going to be fixed. We're going to put $3,500 in your pocket." Of course, we didn't take a fee, and you should be good to go. And she just broke down in tears. And I was really proud of that. So that's one way, this community outreach. We started a program during COVID. One of our employees has parents who own a restaurant, and she wanted to be more involved in doing and providing meals to farm workers. And we found out about it, and we thought, gosh, that is really cool that you want to do this. Can we help? Can we help sponsor? And it was just going to be something that the restaurant did, and we got involved. And it was only supposed to be a COVID situation, but we decided to extend it, and we've maintained the program. And we've also been able to serve as an outreach to people who just don't have, again, the education or the language to help them out with little things. And then there's, of course, another local charity group, the Samaritan House, that do toy drives and clothing drives and deliver meals. And so to us, it's really important. I think if you're going to have credibility and call yourself a community firm, you actually have to be involved in the community. And if enough people know you as a person, then they'll trust you as their lawyer. And frankly, I enjoy doing it. And we get a lot of, we feel not only good to help, but it also helps. It also helps others. So it's a win-win for everybody.
It reminds me of the saying, doing something without expecting anything in return. It is really you living your values, and that's amazing. And I'm sure you get all of this gratification being able to help these individuals. It probably just makes you happy and being a part of the community. And the thing that I think about on the grassroots marketing and community, it's like you're building up this like good karma equity.
Yeah.
You never know this individual that you helped in this dire situation, right? Where she wasn't going to have a vehicle, had no money, like had no car. What happens if any of her family or friends are in a bad situation? The first person she's going to think of is you. And I imagine you just do that over time. And it may never happen, but you never know when it will.
The benefit of being a plaintiff's lawyer is you get to choose your clients, right? If you don't feel that a situation is right, or you feel that there's something fishy, then you don't accept the case. And we're lucky that we're able to take on cases that we really believe in it. We believe in our clients and what they're going through. And once you, like you said, you help someone, especially in their time of need. Most people that go to a lawyer when they're completely stressed out and they have no other options available to them. And if you're able to help them, they instantly become a review platform for you. Whether they refer you another case or not, you've accomplished two things. You've done something to help someone else, which I think we should be doing anyway. And two, if anything happens, like you said, hey, I have someone who was able to help me in my time of need, that treated me fairly and with respect, and I highly recommend them. And we have cases and people come in and I tell them, do you want to talk about anything else? And they just say, no, I trust you. I have a firm recommendation from a family member and we want to sign up with you. And that makes my job a lot easier.
Absolutely. And let's talk about these values, right? It's, we discussed the strong, value of caring for the community and really, giving selflessly. What other values guide your firm? Is there any particular value that you really put a lot of emphasis on?
I think that the greatest value is just treat others like you would want to be treated. It's a very basic, 6-7-year-old value, but it gets lost in a lot of businesses. And we believe that when we're representing someone, they're not just a number. They're not just a case file. They are a person. And every person that walks into our office believes their case is worth $1 million, because $1 million would be what our health is, right? Our health is, there's no amount of money that could compensate us for our health when we're having health issues. I've never had a client who has said, oh, I'd rather take this amount of money, this X amount of money, and have all these horrible things happen to me. That's never happened. Everyone always just wants their health. So treat people like a family member, show compassion, show empathy. When we have initial intake calls, we've had conversations and we've had meetings as a firm that this is someone who's calling in their time of need, and they don't know whether they have a case or not. And whether they do or not, that doesn't change the way you talk with them. And we hear about it. You are the first firm to spend time with us on the phone. We really appreciate it. You were the first firm to take time to hear my story, to answer my questions. So I think that is a mantra that is that everyone follows. And selfishly, at the end of the day, it allows us all to sleep better at night, because we know we've done everything we can to treat people well and fairly. And one of the other things, Chris, that I tell people is I've had the pushy sales calls and the sales people trying to make me do something I don't really necessarily want to do. And we put zero pressure. And we've had clients who are talking 5-6 different lawyers, and they come back to us and say, we came back to you because you seem to care about our life and how we were doing and how we were going to try to get better. And then at the end, you talked to us a little bit about whether we should hire you or not. And then you didn't put pressure. You said whatever feels right. And if you treat people like you want to be treated, and if you're pure in the way that you approach the attorney-client relationship, you will succeed. That's just how we feel about it.
I imagine your employees too, seeing that you treat individuals that you don't even know in this manner, probably makes them feel very well and comforted and heard, and just like a feeling of a great piece of the team.
No, they do, and we've had referrals, of course, of friends and family from my coworkers, and I think it also they're also proud to work here. Unfortunately, Chris, I know this is going to be shocking to hear, but lawyers and personal injury lawyers don't always have this greatest reputation. And unfortunately, that's because there's a stereotype out there about how lawyers are. And I've always said, especially because I didn't see this necessarily as my career specialty, I want to change that perspective, and I want to change that kind of notion of who personal injury attorneys are. So I think if you're in a firm and you're seeing that your people are being treated fairly and respectfully, regardless of background, education, experience, whatever it is, and everyone's being treated equally and fairly, it makes you want to work there, and it gives you pride in your work. And that's really what we try to have here.
I couldn't agree more.